My name's Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine. We're here this week with TUAW and MacTech together are interviewing developers at the Worldwide Developer Conference 2012 in San Francisco. And so we're getting an idea of developer reaction to the keynote, announcements, and also to see what's going on with some of the really cool products that are out there. With us from VMware, or the Fusion team at VMware, is Nicolas Rochard, who is on the product marketing side, and Simon Bennett, who is on the product management side. And first of all, thank you guys for coming and joining us in here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Why don't we start off with what's going on with Fusion, and what are some of the things that you guys see coming out here a little bit?
Sure, you want to talk about that, Nicolas? Yeah, I'll start with VMware Fusion 4. Basically, we launched Fusion 4 in September of last year. Mm-hmm. It was a tremendous success in terms of sales and adoption. I think a lot of our customers were waiting for this big release, and we, on our side, wanted to really be very aggressive. And so we put the price down at $49.99, and in just 2 weeks in September, we had our biggest month of sales on the VMware Fusion side. So it's good to hear. We had our biggest year as well last year. So VMware Fusion is doing well, and we've got more stuff coming later on this year, but so far, we're very excited with what we've seen yesterday at the WWDC conference.
And when you say you have stuff coming on later on this year, are you guys looking to do some more support on like the Windows 8 side? Are there things coming down the pike? Are you ready to talk about stuff yet, or?
Well, we've always got lots of things cooking, right?
Yeah. As you should.
Absolutely. We wouldn't have it any other way. It's going to be a really big year.
Okay.
There's obviously things like Mountain Lion being revealed this week.
Right.
Windows 8 has already been huge.
Right.
Consumer preview, release preview.
Right.
Obviously, there's a whole bunch of interesting things that are going to happen.
Cool.
It's just a great year to be in the PC business.
Right.
Whether it's on the Mac or the Windows side. And I think we're going to see a lot of really interesting products come out towards the end of the year, piggybacking on all of these great developments.
Cool. Very good.
And as Simon said, we're always looking at new Apple technologies. So we had our engineers run to the Apple store just this morning, get a new MacBook Pro, looking at the beautiful Retina display.
You had to really force them to do this, right?
Yeah. They were really reluctant to go.
Yeah. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it.
Right?
We're just hoping somebody hit the screwdrivers, because knowing those guys, they'll have the case off, and it'll never be the same.
Exactly. So grabbing the new technologies, new hardware, because obviously as a virtualization product, hardware touches you guys a little bit more deeply than on a lot of products. There is definitely some tough challenges that you guys have that many publishers don't have those kinds of issues.
Well, and some of the technologies that we heard yesterday about faster SSDs, faster access to memory, faster graphics chip in those new MacBook Pros.
Right.
Just mean that virtualization is going to be even faster, even smoother on the new laptops.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to that. It's already really fast today, but we're going to get to a stage where you're barely going to be able to notice the difference that it's not running natively on a Mac.
Yeah.
So this is good for all of us.
The reality is that even before version 4, like version 3 and 4, at least maybe even back a little bit before that, I'm trying to remember, the overhead layer that virtualization has. The Fusion has, just by sitting there and existing with Windows running in the background, it's so minute. It's like it's astoundingly minute as to how little that overhead is in there that entire time. So it's really cool to see people being able to not just have a choice, but have a choice that's really viable.
Absolutely. And there's one thing we've done. I was talking about our aggressive price point that we had with VMware Fusion 4. For $50, any customer can buy VMware Fusion 4, install it on any of their personal Macs. So if you have 2 or 3 Macs, you just need one license to run Windows on your Mac.
And how does the licensing scheme work on the Windows side? If they're just using that one virtual machine across, do they need more than one license?
I believe you need one license for
each machine. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Mac ecosystem, kind of inching towards the new stuff. The Air is looking like a really powerful machine now. Obviously the MacBook Pro got all the attention, it's a developer conference, everybody's salivating about that, but I think for your average consumer,
Yeah.
You know, an Ivy Bridge MacBook Pro with 8 gigs of RAM in it, and you know that nice upgraded SSD.
But again, even the prior version of the of the Air is like, you know, it with the SSD in particular, things run fairly snappy.
Very well.
I mean, like, we both use them as our daily workhorses.
I was going to say that. We use it all day long.
The only thing that I would caution people on is that if you're running in virtualization, whatever the virtualization product is in there, being on an Air 11-inch is maybe not the best choice. Having the extra screen real estate, you know, it's a little bit. I mean, you can do it. It's not that you can't. It's just it's a compromise.
I think Lion has helped a lot with that regard
because you
can swipe from one OS to the other, and so we've actually had a bit of fun last year when we launched Fusion 4. I don't know if you saw the video. We have a video going around where we installed 10 different operating systems on a MacBook Pro running at the same time.
Okay.
And we had fun. It goes all the way from XP to Vista to 7 and Linux and even Lion running in a virtual machine. And you see it swapping all the way. And you can just do that really quickly.
Right.
And that was with a 8 gig machine, one of the latest MacBook Pros at the time, but it was still a year-old machine, so this is getting better and better.
Pretty cool all the way through. So, and of course, you know, it goes without saying that one of the big benefits, and if you guys aren't going to say it, I'm going to say it in here, of VMware's product line with Fusion is that, you know, you guys have all of these different solutions for virtualization across a number of different platforms, not just Fusion on the Mac, but VMware has a lot of virtualization products, obviously, and to be able to have that integration, especially in the enterprise monitor, is a really useful thing, you know, for people to do. And I know in the case of a lot of MacTech readers, and to some extent the 2-odd readers as well, there's a lot of people that are using Fusion for that reason.
No, absolutely. You know, we're a pretty small team. You know, the Fusion team works pretty closely with the Workstation team, which is a sort of a companion product, if you like, that works on Windows and Linux.
Right.
We also have a player product, which is more of a end-user runtime. So these are all very closely related, and from an engineering point of view, they're built very tightly together because we want to preserve that experience.
Right,
you want to be able to take a VM and run it on a PC, move it to the data center, take it on a Mac, and we think that helps.
And you guys have always been really good too about adopting a lot of the Apple user experience technologies and doing it fairly quickly and having that kind of very Apple experience on very experienced people are used to. And so, anything we're missing on Fusion at this point that we want to talk about, or should we just check in here on the Keynote stuff real quick?
Sure, let's talk about the Keynote.
Okay, so other than the MacBook Pro, it's like if I don't say that, every answer is just MacBook Pro with Retina display. Other than the MacBook Pro with the Retina display, which obviously is a fabulous product and is amazing, what was the favorite thing that you heard announced in there?
What do you think, Nicholas?
I think for us, on the Fusion side, we're obviously looking very closely at Mountain Lion and all the new features and how we can tie into these features. So we're obviously looking at stuff like Notification Center,
right?
What is it? Power Nap.
Yeah.
All these features and dictation.
Actually, Power Nap could have some real impact for you guys.
If you can really integrate to those, that'd be nice. So we're definitely looking at that and. See what we can come up with. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think the MacBook Air refresh was really interesting, and I think that one's got some legs.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really liked was, did you see the? I think it's called guided tour or assisted viewing for the iOS.
Yeah.
So you can kind of lock out an app and
right. No, it's called
what were they called?
Eyes Free. It's not hands-free, it's eyes-free. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the car integration, right?
No, this is, yeah, I guess it was in there, but it was basically...
It's also new.
I know, the security stuff that you're talking about for like schools. Yeah, that was very cool.
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that part and immediately shot off a note to the chief technology officer for our local school district saying, by the way, check this out. It's very cool, so...
Yeah, my 2-year-old is going to love that.
Yeah, well, the schools are good. It's a big deal because of testing in schools and whatnot, but every parent wants to have that as well. And then I guess lastly, what do you see as the either the challenges or that you're most excited about as from what you heard out of the keynote on what you're going to try to go into Fusion? You kind of answered that a little bit in there, but is there anything else to add in there that you're looking for? You guys have there's a lot of questions about why isn't not just Fusion but any virtualization product available in the Mac App Store, and to make sure that you guys have cover in here. I will be the one to say you're not allowed to do that so far because of the requirements of what the Mac App Store is. There's certain things you cannot do with it, and virtualization, as of the current rules, breaks every one of those things in there. I assume that that's a continual conversation that you're having with Apple on a regular basis. But are there other things that you're looking forward to on trying to get into Fusion 4 here? What are you excited about?
There's just a great upswell of interest in the Mac in general.
Yeah.
I think sort of Mountain Lion is sort of the crest of that wave.
Yeah.
We're seeing Macs turn up in contexts that they never used to.
Right.
Not just education anymore, but
Right.
now in small, medium-sized companies, big corporations, government.
Yeah.
Big purchasers of solutions like Fusion, and I think that presents a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah.
There are technical challenges around things like the Mac App Store, but I think the overall thrust, which is making it easier for users to adopt software,
Right.
is a good one.
Yeah.
And it's not a case that one size fits all.
Right.
There are certain utility type applications and virtualization and some scripting things that don't work well now. But with time and a little bit of love, I think a lot of those things can be overcome.
Cool.
I think Simon's made a great point. 96% of the Fortune 1000 companies use VMware in their data center or in their company.
Right.
And VMware Fusion is no exception. We are part of these companies, and we help them move from PCs to Macs within the company. And a lot of the customers just want to use 1 or 2 or 3 applications, legacy applications that they carry from 8 years ago that only runs on XP.
Or vertical market that they have to do something that's on the Windows side.
And so this need for running multiple operating systems is definitely not disappearing. In fact, it's growing even more in the enterprise and in the small business environment.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it was great having you guys here. Thank you for taking the time out to join us today. I'm Neil Ticktin with MacTech Magazine, and these are the TUAW MacTech Magazine interviews of developers at WWDC 2012. Thanks for watching.